feel people should be comfortable doing that. You should be comfortable sticking out because most times, like for instance, for most social situations, you see that most things you have celebrities say one thing and everybody follows them. You should be that person that's always bringing the trends. Be that person that's always different. Be that person that's always influencing others. Don't make others influence you. Yes. Another thing, you should always love. You should love yourself.
Bring us to our next question. What causes peer pressure? I know we've talked about this and it kind of said, but there are actually causes that even we people don't realize, and that's the whole point. What causes peer pressure?
Well,
what causes peer pressure? Like I said before, first of all, it's the way we are wired as human beings. When I speak to people, I say human beings are mimetic. That's the word. Human beings copy. Okay, like for instance, back some years back, maybe 5 years back, I used to do adverts on social media for e-commerce for my products. I noticed one very interesting thing. If I put up an ad and the first comment is negative, every other comment is going to be negative.
Yes, I noticed it too.
And the first comment is positive. Everything is positive. Right. Because human beings, we copy each other. People that also come and just go up and say, "Oh, what did this person say? Okay, let me just stay with this person."
And I want to do that.
Okay.
So that's unwillingness to confront, to be confrontational and all that is one of the biggest causes. It's one of the biggest causes.
Oh, I'm very confrontational. I like a very good confrontation, positive confrontation.
Then you sort it out. At least I know what you think.
Yeah, I like a good confront. I'll do a good confront any day, anytime. I'll do a good confrontation.
Yeah, he is right. And
so the first thing is people like to copy. Secondly, what do you reckon?
Well, I don't know if copying might be as a result of this, but it's lack of confidence.
Yeah, like we said, yeah.
If you don't have confidence in yourself, your decisions, or you don't know who you are, then definitely you're most likely going to fall prey to peer pressure.
Yeah.
So I think that confidence is the first thing which, like Peter said before, the parents can help build from when you're little and confidence. You know, some people get overconfident and become bullies.
Become very
so
yeah.
No,
but actually that's not true. Bullies are not very confident.
They come across superiority complex. They feel superior.
Exactly.
Some people get overconfident and start to feel superior to other people.
You know what? Actually, you find that most people who bully people actually
the biggest cowards.
They're very fearful.
Yes, they actually. They will always pick on people who are not bigger than them, because this world, no matter how big you are, there's someone bigger.
Yeah.
So why don't you go and look for that bigger person if you are that big, so you can be the biggest, you can be the baddest, The bullies are actually the smallest. They do have that thing where they want to be superior. And some people have that syndrome, but I don't think that. I really think very little. Yeah, I really think very little of them. And the Bible has a lot to say about them, doesn't it? If you take yourself up, I will bring you down. But if you bring yourself low, I will exalt you, wasn't it? So I think a word to the bullies out there: if you try to bring yourself down, so that God doesn't do it Himself. Okay. So I agree so far. But what about your? I think social factors are also a big player in peer pressure. Like when socioeconomic factors. So, for example, you realize that when families that are more well off, that and the kids are doing well, and they have like the nice clothes, have the nice shoes, it's like more kids or other kids will want to look up to them, and if they tell them, oh, do this, just because of that socioeconomic factor, oh, my mom can't afford this and their mom can, and they feel like this person's better than we are because they have better things, they have nicer things. I feel like that's another cause when the socioeconomic factor plays a big role in the causes of peer pressure, especially among young people, where they just think, oh, well, yeah, I do, okay, because she looks beautiful, she's beautiful, more beautiful than I am, or he's good looking, or he plays for the team sports, and that kind of, that feeling of someone being better than the other. So when they ask you to do something, you kind of like jump up, like how high, factor sort of comes in. What do you guys think?
Yeah, I think you're right.
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't think so, because for that factor, it goes back to the same confidence. It goes back to the same this thing, building that feeling of contentment in your children.
Okay.
So yeah, okay. Let's say you can see a child that has only 2-3 shoes in their house, but when they go into the playground,
they're the king of
the way they carry themselves, the way they carry themselves with that shoe, even though it's worn out and all that, other people look up to them. People that have much more than them.
For how long? Because now you want to break it down into age groups. Because as far as I'm concerned, when they're not aware of the value of things, that's fine, works well. But when they start becoming aware of the value of certain things, that changes, and real quickly.
No, not if they don't care.
No.
How many? See this thing. How many kids will not care about who doesn't? Sorry, let me ask. Who don't like betatin? Do you understand? Because that's it's the famous Nigerian question. Who don't like betatin? Because. And sorry for you guys who don't speak Nigerian, it means who doesn't like good things, who doesn't like quality things. Everybody likes good things. Everybody likes pretty things. You understand? So for how long? Because you can find a child, they don't really know the value of that. They don't really know this. They don't really know what is what. As long as they've got shoes, they've got a rucksack, they've got lunch boxes, they're happy. But when they go into court and they start to see those things, that's why it says socioeconomic factors, and they start to see diversity of people bringing different things and people carrying different things and how other people are admired, especially even with black kids. When they see the way white kids are, like the whole kids in the playground and whatnot, that it kind of, if they say, oh yeah, do this, kind of find them doing stuff.
Well, I think
just so they can be a part of that group. Do you know what I mean?
It's still the same contentment, end of the day. Because contentment it's not really that you don't want better things or you're not working towards better things. It's that while you're working towards those better things and you know that you're going to get those better things, you're okay. What you have is the best for you. I think when I was younger, they used to tell me that too. My friend would say, I like my own thing.
Yes.
My friend would say, I like my own thing, because no matter how good your stuff is, there's no way you can convince me that it's better than mine.
Okay, let's move to adults.
10 times more than mine.
Let's move to adults now.
But the way I'll use mine.
You said something about okay, go on.
Even as an adult, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. Okay, like for instance,
I'm not sure. While I agree with you as an adult, yes, but as a teenager, socioeconomic factors. And when I mean social, I mean even the environment plays a big part of things that causes peer pressure. Because you find out that more kids are easily pressured into doing things they don't want to do because they think like, oh, this person has got, or if they can give me a little bit of their juice box, or give, regardless. And that contentment you're talking about, it doesn't last very long. It's always a phase. It's always a transitional phase. And what we're trying to do is, at some point in every individual's life, they will feel that peer pressure. True. Do you understand? So socioeconomic factors does play a big role in, in matters that influence peer pressure. Now, even if we were to come to adulthood, when we come to adulthood, and before we go to adulthood, I'm going to say this. Even my parents, I'm not going to say parental pressure now, no, but I feel like they had some form of pressure from their peers, because my mom grew up with it. My mom always had this thing, my daughter's going to be a doctor. My doctors, and when they're all talking, they'll be like, excuse me, oh, my daughter's going to be a lawyer, oh, my son will be an engineer, he's going to be a pilot.
That generation of parents did all of that.
And that their pair influencing each other like I grew up thinking I'm gonna be a gynecologist because that was what. But everything that I did in school, I was a science student, but I was social prefect. Peter can attest to that, you know. So I was miming, and then I was like organizing shows in school. I always wanted to do everything, like drama, anything, acting, anything, entertainment. I was always the forerunner, but yet I wanted to be a gynecologist. You get where I'm coming from? So I'm grateful for my science knowledge. I'm grateful for my science background. But it was just the whole, and when I think about peer pressure, when this topic came up, and I was like, what's on your mind? I thought, peer pressure, what's on your mind, Angela? I thought, so the first thing was like to my parents, because they're thinking, their whole groups were so pressured into their kids doing better, or this person doing so, and they kind of felt that pressure, and they kind of pressured their kids to wanna, yeah, my child is going to be this, and they force their kids to actually go to university. Do you want to be a failure? I have a friend who he graduated with a 2.1, and his father literally told him, "You have brought me shame."
2.1, really?
2.1, I'm telling you. And his father told him, he's late now, I pray he rest in peace. He was like, my father was like, "You have brought me." So yeah, so I mean, there are so many factors, like even like from the parents, that their generation being peer pressured, and it sort of transfers to our generation. It just keeps transferring from generation to generation. But now I think what they don't see is the gravity of it. So do you guys think that peer pressure can actually lead to crime? Like, do you think it has an influence on crime?
Definitely.
Yeah,
I absolutely think so. Do you want to go first, Peter? Or should I?
Okay, yeah, because like for instance, like I said before, bad things are sweeter to do. And crime is basically bad things.
Yeah.
So yeah, crime. If you look at most, let's go to gangs. Gangs are the biggest manifestation of peer pressure.
Yeah.
People feel uncomfortable. They feel unsafe doing things on their own. They feel they have to belong to this group to feel protected. I wonder how that works. And this group they join now makes them do all sorts of things against their will most of the time. Okay, at the beginning it's against their will, and over the time they now start feeling, oh yeah, I'm cool and all that. So yeah, it's a big factor for especially gang crime. Okay. The peer pressure leads to drug abuse. Drug abuse, trying to fund that drug habit leads to a lot of crimes. So that's another way. That's another way. See, a lot of people stealing and all that just because they want to get the next hit, get the next high, because they can't afford it. Going into prostitution, things like that.
Right.
So yeah, peer pressure really, really is a big factor in influencing crime.
It does. And to add to that, I agree, of course. There is if you want to do something to please, if you're changing your ways to please somebody, of course, if they are doing something wrong, you will still change your ways to please them. If you can't say no to little things, one day it's okay, we're going to a party, from partying, let's go together. You would rather not. They probably have been doing it, sneaking out of I remember back then in secondary school, I was in the boarding school, and then a lady joined the crew of those because she wanted to belong, and that was the day they got caught. The first time she would go, they got caught. It's not what she would rather do, but she went. Now, if those people had graduated, if she had done successfully and they graduated into prostitution, she would have joined them too. Then maybe from just being prostitutes, they decided to start robbing their clients.
Exactly.
Crime. So it's, as long as you can't take a stand, as long as you can't decide what you want to do for yourself, of course, it does affect crime, because when they're going
what's best for you.
What's best for you.
Hence the double think situation.
Double think.
I'm going to add to something you said. You said something about like gangs asking to do. Here in England, apparently, if you want to be part of a gang, they set you up to do this task where you have to actually go out and stab someone, so they can see that you actually have the heart to do it. To be a part of the gang. Or they would ask you to sort of like like do trap drugs, like sell drugs or something, so you can see you actually have the heart. But it's not that's why one of the things that they like when they ask when there's a crime, like, has the person got any on them? Have they got any? Are they armed with anything?
Okay.
You know, maybe like a knife or something. Are they carrying any? You know, because yeah, that's a lot, and there's a lot of knife incidents here in England because they want to prove a point that yes, we actually have the heart to join this group or start a radicalization or start something, you know, and it's a shame really, but yes, it does. If you're going to change yourself negatively to fit into any sort of association or go out with someone, I don't think it ends very well because number one, you know it's negative, and everything we do has results. Whatever you start, just expect something at the end, or you get arrested, which is the beginning. And they say, well, you know, when you start something and you open, when you taste something, the chances that you want to taste it again.
Yeah.
You know, because of
once you pop, you can't stop.
and once you pop, you can't stop. Yeah, you know, it's our brain, and it's the way our brain. You see how it loves that adrenaline, that rush, that feeling of almost getting caught, that euphoria of bad things. Yeah, okay, I almost got caught, and then you want to do it again. I want to feel that high. Oh yeah, and you do almost anything to actually carry on feeling that, you know, that thing in our brain that wants more and more of that thrill. So guys, as we come to a conclusion for today, in total, so not all peer pressure is bad. Not all peer pressure is bad. There are so many ways you can handle peer pressure. If you're a young adult, try to think and double think things through. Try to know what matters. Love yourself first. Put yourself first. Don't just jump into and join a group just because they look good. Not all that glitters is good, and I can tell you that for free. Not everything that looks good on the outside is great on the inside. You know, everything, the paths you make, the choices you make will determine where you end up tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Remember, everything has consequences. If you build your self-confidence, why can't they copy you? Why can't they want to be you? Why do you have to be them? Why do you have to join them? Why can't they join you? You know, so yeah. Anyway, I hope that we've with our discussion and our back and forth, we're able to like make healthy suggestions of other ways you can cope, or even if you're in a bad group, leave. Why can't you leave? Why can't you be a leader? You know, you're not the only misfit out there. Trust me, there's so many misfits.
I am.
Yeah, I am. One of the biggest. We all are misfits. You don't need anybody to be you. You came to this world alone, and when you die, you'll be buried alone. So focus on you, love you, discover you, learn more about you, build your confidence. Thank you very much for joining us today. We hope you enjoyed it yourself. We hope we've made healthy suggestions, and I will see you next week Saturday. Same place, same time. Remember, problem no dey finish. We'll go there the day with the matter. Cheers. Bye for now.
Bye.